We're live. So good morning, good morning. Hello, everyone. This is a live broadcast from Microsoft Advertising at the DMEXCO 2021. It's a workshop about scale and success. And we will be sharing with you today some stories about how to help you grow, share some solutions we have over here at Microsoft Advertising, and really with a focus on small and medium businesses who are already online, who are thinking about going online, or are thinking of scaling and going even bigger. Joining me today, we have a great lineup. So as you can see on the screen, we're interviewing Christophe Hies from the company Schuhe24, and I'll tell you more about him later, and my colleague Federica Müller, who's going to be conducting the interview. So we'll have a great case study and some sharing of stories. Again, just a quick comment, I really miss being in person, having the capacity and ability to meet you all in person. I was in Cologne a couple of years ago for DMEXCO. It's a great event, 50,000 people, and we had some fantastic coffee over the Microsoft booth. Unfortunately, I hope we don't have that this year, but maybe next year. In the meantime, if you want to connect, you can look us up in the DMEXCO website. We can have one-on-one conversations, follow-ups. A couple of you did so already, so please do so. Also, there is a chat in the window, so we as presenters cannot see it now, but we will look it up after the conference. If there's any feedback you want to share, any questions, constructive return, please do so, and we will really appreciate whatever you have there. And also, we can continue the conversation at the end of this meeting. So, again, this is a live broadcast, so nothing is pre-recorded, and so please share as much feedback as possible. I'll just give you an update on the agenda for this morning. So we have 30 minutes together. First of all, for next 10 minutes or so, I'm going to talk to you about the world of Microsoft Advertising, and then we will do a case and an interview with Schuhe24 and their partner, Smarketer, who's a partner agency and who was helping them conduct their digital advertising online. And then we'll have a quick Q&A at the end of the session. So I'll take it from here. One key takeaway I wanted to share about, so just doing this. Voilà. Screens. One key takeaway as well is there is a colleague of ours, Simon Aguera, who's on the chat. He works at Microsoft Advertising. He's a specialist on onboarding. So he has any questions you have about how to set up an account, why to create an account. Also, we'll be offering some coupons to create accounts. Please ask him, and any technical question as well about the campaigns is good to go. So I'll take it from here and see you in 10 minutes, Federica and Christophe. And also, before we start, there's a digital code of conduct. It's just common sense. Please be respectful of each other, behave just like you would in a real conference room, and please share any constructive feedback you might have with us. That'd be great. So one thing I wanted to really focus on this morning was that online has obviously been a very important aspect of things. You have any business, you have to do it online. And what we try to do and aim to do with companies at Microsoft Advertising is create customer values that leads to growth. Our mission is to empower companies, and our mission at Microsoft Advertising is to empower companies through the right connections. And so when we mention right connections, this is to help you drive your digital acceleration, is to make use of the data disruption that's happening, and also to help you understand the new behaviors that are happening in consumers. For example, we conducted some consumer research last year, and we discovered that about 74% of consumers online went and discovered a new brand. So they went shopping to places they had never shopped ever before. Why? Because they have all this time on their hands working from home. Well, not a lot of time, but they have time to discover new things via their computer. So online, new brand discovery, that's a lot of opportunities that we want to help you unleash, and that you can unleash with our platform. One of the things that we noticed as well from a consumer trend is obvious, and you lived it as well. We're living it today because we're at home. I'm at home right now anyway doing this conference, is that work and personal life has all mixed in together. And so what does this mean? This means one thing, for example, I remember starting a few years back in advertising, and when you wanted to do a B2 see campaigns, sell stuff online, you would target people from at lunch or in the evenings or in the weekends, because that's when they were shopping. But now you're shopping between two PowerPoint calls, between Teams or Zoom or whatever, and then you might be doing work from home. And so everything is intertwined together. That's why our partner, Shoe24, has a great name, Shoes 24 and 24, because you can start buying shoes at midnight on Sunday, any time of the day, or between two meetings on a Monday morning. So that's a new reality of the mixture of personal and professional lifetimes. This also had some consequences in real life in numbers. 4 trillion minutes, that's the amount of minutes that people spend on Windows devices over the past, on an average month. So that's quite a bit. And there are 1.3 billion Windows devices out there where people are using both for their work life, but also for their personal life. And why is this interesting to you? Because that means that all these people are potential customers, clients for your B2B, B2C campaigns, and we can help you get in contact with them. So really reaching audiences across that work and life balance environment that you have. And we noticed also that consumers, the way they're consuming content, they're using Edge, they're using Bing, they're also using Microsoft News, and all that really comes together to, again, to fulfill that personal and professional life mixture. Also, why is Microsoft advertising interesting to you? Because we are actually much larger than Bing. Obviously, Microsoft developed a great search engine called Bing, but that search engine is integrated as branded by itself on Bing.com or Bing.de, but it's also integrated in a lot of Microsoft properties like Windows, Edge, Outlook, MSN. And we also work with some fantastic partners such as Yahoo, and in Germany, a great partner called Ecosia, which I don't know if you heard of them, but you should really test them out. What their angle is to, besides a lot of privacy settings, is also that you can have, they plant trees for every X amount of clicks that you might provide. And as well, I'll show you some data, and they're growing quite significantly in Germany in the amount of trees. Also DuckDuckGo or Quant in France as well. So great partners in syndication, which account for a lot of growth. And their partners are growing steadily as well. Audiences-wise, 21% growth in searches on Yahoo the last couple of years. DuckDuckGo, Ecosia planted 125 million trees. That's a lot of forest, thanks to clicks from our users. And significant growth in Europe, which is a key market. So my memory from DMEXCO is obviously a lot of German, but a lot of European customers and companies there. Europe, Microsoft advertising represents 153 million monthly searchers, almost 3 billion monthly searchers. And again, search is intent marketing. So basically people type in what they're looking for, that's their intent, and the search engine is going to transform that intent into a query that's monetizable. So you can, if you sell a restaurant in Cologne, we're going to put you in front of that specific ask. So that's the basics, of course, but it gets much subtle. But again, it's intent marketing. It's not something we push on people that have no interest. It's something that it's available on demand, and so really intelligent connections. And they're growing fast. We had an annual growth of 12% of searches over the past year. So people are using more and more their laptops, their tablets. Mobile is of course growing as well, but laptops are really growing because as people continue to work from home, if you want to conduct a meeting, you want to multi-screen, multitask, your laptop is your best asset you can use. And Microsoft runs really great on laptops. So the goal for us to help you SMBs and to help you grow and to help you scale is threesome. One is to provide you with relevant search, so the right audiences at the right time, intelligent experiences, and we'll talk about this later with Shure and their partner as Marketer. Intelligent experiences because running your campaigns is complicated. You don't have to do everything manually in a huge multi-line Excel sheet like in the old days. You have a lot of solutions that are provided by the platforms, by partners, that you can have really intelligent campaigns and tracking and deployment of your campaigns. And very important, Microsoft provides a trusted and open digital platform. This is 2021. Privacy is a huge expectancy from consumers. And we, as a company, have always been very focused on that specific positioning. And so I'm not going to go into deep in trust, but trust and anonymizing, respecting the data, making sure that the data that you as a consumer share with us, that companies share with us, that the campaigns use, is controllable, accountable, and transparent. And the brand safe environment is extremely important. So to tell you more about the network before I get into the product part and then the rest of our meeting this morning, we are growing on a global scale. There are over 100 markets. So Bing is much larger than you might think. There's a 15% market share worldwide. So you might think, yeah, when I'm launching my campaign, there are other platforms out there. But as you grow your business, you really want to take into consideration the opportunities available at Microsoft Advertising, especially in some markets, key markets like obviously the US with 38% market share. It's a pretty obvious place to go. And in Europe also, even the market share is 11% on average, but in some markets like Germany, France, you might go closer to the double digits. So it's really useful. And also as you're expanding into different markets, we can offer you that expansion. And also there's something, 1 million users here and 1 million users there are not the same. Every platform has specifics about the type of users that are going to consume its content and use its services. The Microsoft Search Network is very linked to, as we saw beginning, Windows devices. So we cater a lot to people who are into the productivity, into a work environment or work and personal life environment, and hence that the audience is skewed towards that. So when you do advertising with us, you will find that type of audience that you might not find exactly the same in other platforms. So it's a bit more skewed towards men. It's a bit more skewed towards a younger, mostly like 15-45 age group, working professionals. Non-surprisingly, because they're professionals, a lot of them have a degree in university and they're a little bit more educated than the average population. And also they're a little bit more affluent. We see this, and we talked to Schuhe24 about this. People on Microsoft might not buy exactly the same type of shoes that when they advertise on other types of companies. We work with hotels, and the type of rooms that are booked, the type of destinations that are bought are not exactly the same that you would find on other platforms. Each platform has its specifics, and this is some defining traits of the people who use Microsoft advertising platforms. Sorry. And also we're developing what we call the Microsoft Audience Network. So we have search and we have audience, and audience is all the part about native. Both are mixing. It's a big theme at DMEXCO this year. We had a great conference about the topic yesterday. And what we're bringing is premium native placements across our display properties such as MSN or Outlook and some key partners in a very brand safe environment. And with, of course, the advantages of native, which are highly contextual platforms, placements, and very automatic. And this audience, as native, for us, can help you reach a really broad set of customers and really increase your reach. In a country like the US, you have 253 million people which are reachable on a monthly basis. That's almost 90% of the population who's online. In a country like Germany, that's 30 million people out of a population of 80+ million. So that's a huge chunk of the internet audience, which is reachable through native advertising solutions that we call Audience Network at Microsoft, similar for France and other markets. So last bit up here, before I hand it over to the case study, is the solution. So you want to grow, the audience is interesting, we've got the insights, what can we do? Well, one thing we noticed as well when we observe the consumers and how they use our product is that the old school funnel, old neat is obviously disappearing. You have all these different touch points where people are thinking, going back, comparing, thinking, buying online, offline, and we have solutions that can bring you campaign in touch with the right customer at the right moments. So whether people are using their maps, they're using some image search, if they're using the shopping service, if they're just going on checking their email, all these things come together in this road to cross-channel or omni-channel of advertising. And that's another key if you're launching and growing your campaigns online. Really think of your campaigns not just as like one single channel. You have to think it as a multi-touch environment, and you have to measure which works best. And also don't always look at the last click, but look at the broader picture of all the different touch points where you're engaging with your consumer. And one great way to engage, especially in retail, we saw that most of the companies that were created last year were into retail. Schuhe24 is a great retail example. Shopping is a service that you can, where you automate all your inventory, and it's available to people when they're looking for a specific product, like a shoe, a car, a TV, or whatever. And that service, shopping, has been built at Microsoft extensively, and we're now available in all the markets you can see on the slide. So obviously Germany, France, but most of the major, at least Western European markets are open for business on shopping. Again, an automated solution to run your business smoothly. And another thing that's happening right now that's pretty new is the fact that content is, advertising content on search used to be only text copy. It's getting even richer. So on one hand, we are coming closer with a native opportunity, so using, for example, video ads or picture ads on the audience network, but also on the search campaigns, we're providing a multimedia ads experience. For example, if you're selling a car or a pair of shoes, obviously a picture will do a lot to add to the value and to the attractiveness of the ad over the text, and even video extensions if you have. So another advice I would give to any company setting up business and thinking of growing their online campaigns is make sure you have great picture and video assets available of your products. All the major retailers have spent a lot of time taking good pictures, indexing pictures of their products, and making sure they have good visual identity to push on the online channels. And again, it's consumers are really very keen to that. And for example, image search is a feature that's very used on our search engine. And finally, intelligent platform. You can automate as much as you want your campaigns. Auto bidding, intelligent campaigns, audiences, and tools goes easily. And finally, all the different services that we offer to help you reach and grow the audience. I won't go into detail, and also I want to make sure we have enough time for the interview. One specific of Microsoft is the LinkedIn profile targeting. You can use the information from LinkedIn to find adequate audiences on our network, which is quite unique. So again, this is how we provide more value out of every interaction, help companies get relevant reach, intelligent experiences, and trusted and open digital platform. With this, I wanted to hand it back to our interview. So again, thanking Smarketer, Partner Agency, and Schuhe24. We're going to talk to Christoph Hies, who's the head of marketing at the Platform Group. And so they run Schuhe24, and he will be talking to Friederike Müller, who's a partner account manager over here at Microsoft Advertising. So over to you two. Thank you.
Many thanks, Florian. Thanks a lot. Hi, everyone. My name is Federica. I'm a partner account manager here at Microsoft Advertising. I work very closely with our partner agency, Smarketer, and through that also very closely with Schuhe24. So today we have Christoph Hies here with us. Hi, Christoph.
Hello, Federica. Thank you so much for the quick introduction. To give you some information about myself, I'm Christoph Hies, the head of marketing of the Platform Group. Yeah, I'm in charge for pretty much all the marketing activities at the company. I've been working in the online marketing field already for almost 12 years, with a strong focus on e-commerce since 2012. And in 2019, I started to work at Schuhe24.de, and to push this marketplace a bit, to work on it, to improve things. To give you some more details, maybe about the Platform Group itself. The Platform Group is a company which owns several marketplaces in different business sectors, like Schuhe, of course, but fashion in general. Meanwhile, we also expanded our activities to fields like bicycles, even industrial machines. So we are having really a lot of different projects going on. But the concept is pretty much always the same. We connect local retailers, mainly from Germany, to our marketplaces and do pretty much all the marketing for them. Meanwhile, we have over 3,500 connected retailers to our marketplace with millions of different SKUs, which we push on the online world and help the retailers to sell their products online without putting own efforts into it and without having any expertise in online marketing, especially. So for us, it's really easy to connect those retailers and to push them in all our channels. We use almost like 15 different channels for marketing and yeah, and help really to push the revenues of the retailers and actually to help them to, especially in those tough times, right? We have Corona, to make some additional revenue. In regards to marketing, we have our own marketing team in-house, of course, and we cover mainly all big channels like affiliate marketing, email marketing, but our main focus is actually on the search engine optimization and also on the search engine advertising. For the search engine advertising, we are happy to have like a really nice PPC agency on board with S-Marketer who supports us a lot in this, and who helps us to yeah, to further improve our own accounts and to increase the amount of revenue which we generate through those channels. During the last years, we tried pretty much all kinds of campaigns in SEA, like shopping, like search and display remarketing campaigns. And even we got the chance to work with the Microsoft advertising network, and did like the first beta test here in Germany. And about this, I will give you some more information later on, but that's so far for me. Yeah.
Perfect. Thanks a lot. So thanks for the quick intro, information around you, the business, and your marketing strategy. You were just talking about how you run your marketing strategy specifically on Microsoft. So maybe we can deep dive a little bit more into that.
Sure.
Do you want to tell us, first of all, why you're using Microsoft advertising?
I mean, the main purpose, of course, is to increase the traffic on our web pages, and also to maximize the online presence. Because on Microsoft advertising, we get the chance to get on really like famous pages like MSM, on Microsoft Outlook, even on Microsoft Edge. And it really helps us to complement our overall marketing strategy. So to increase the visibility of our marketplaces, to support our brand building. And it's really, it has done a really good development during the last year, and it's already doing like 25% of our revenue generated through search in general, which is really, really nice. The good thing is the conversion rates, even the CPCs, are quite comparable to other search channels. But the funny thing is, or the interesting thing is, on Bing, we usually have way higher basket values compared to other channels. Of course, we investigated more deep into this to find out what's the reason about this, and thereby we noticed that especially really expensive brands which we offer to the customers, the people on Bing are mainly searching for these kind of brands, and thereby I can give you some numbers, like for example for Gabor, which is one of our famous brands, almost 10% of the revenue generated through search is coming from this brand. Pork Green is another strong brand with 5% revenue share, and even Rika with 7% is a really famous brand, which is really working well on Bing especially.
Perfect. Wow, thanks for sharing those KPIs. They're very impressive. And it seems that the Microsoft audience really works for you in that case.
Yep.
Wonderful. And when it comes to Microsoft advertising, again, do you want to tell us a bit about how you use Microsoft advertising or how you advertise on Microsoft?
Sure. The good thing is Microsoft advertising has also improved a lot, especially in regards to the setup. It has a really nice and user-friendly interface. And the cool thing is we created several feeds and data for other search channels, and we can just make several clicks and all the data get imported into our accounts automatically, which is really nice in the setup. And also with the MSAN, with the Microsoft Advertising Network broadcasting through native placements on global consortium partners like MSAN, Microsoft Outlook, and Edge, we achieved to increase our reach, the brand awareness across really multiple channels, and this is really nice to see. Another nice point is really like we have really good audience targeting options in Bing. For example, for existing customers, we can create customized remarketing lists and use them to promote, specifically show them our remarketing ads. But also for the new customer acquisition, we was ensured through the use of in-market audiences to make really a really nice and good setup. Of course, we also tested the shopping part, and I have to say, Google shopping is like really, we could even say it's like the most important channel which we have, which brings the most revenue to us.
Perfect. Wow, thanks for the summary. So great setup opportunities. You mentioned that you run on EMSA and you use our audience as you use shopping. Yeah, so you're definitely a very experienced Microsoftie. So when it comes to that, and while working with you, I've also been able to witness that. You're very eager to try and test new things. So maybe you just want to give us a bit of a heads up of what future projects you have, what excites you about Microsoft Advertising?
Yeah. As I said before, we work with the PPC agency S-Market mainly on our ads accounts. And the good thing is, I got to know S-Marketer as really like a pioneer of implementing new approaches into our channels. And this is really nice because we are not like, we have a setup right now and it's running and it's done. So we are constantly working on it, trying to improve and trying to implement new approaches into our campaigns. Soon we plan to implement some multimedia ads and the video extensions into our accounts. And as I said before, we even got the chance to do like the first beta test for the Microsoft Advertising Network campaign in Germany. And yeah, to make remarketing especially more effective and to increase the scalability of our account, yes. And just to give you some facts and some numbers about this test maybe, we really, within the first 3 months, we really managed to increase the amount of impressions which we generated through a search on almost 26%, which is a lot actually. Even the clicks increased, of course, as well, with like 15%. And the nice part was the CPC decreased actually almost to 50%. And of course, this helped us also to lower the CPA. Even also on average, we also managed to decrease CPA or to improve the CPA by 50% through the Microsoft Advertising Network campaigns. And if I compare this with our shopping campaigns, for me, it looks right now that these campaigns work more effective than the shopping campaigns themselves. Of course, shopping is quite still important for us, but it looks already really, really nice, I have to say.
Thanks so much, yeah, for sharing that. And yeah, what you were talking about, the Microsoft Audience Network case study that that we just released a few weeks ago, really, with you guys. So I believe those will also be posted in the chat for reference. So if anyone wants to read up a little bit more and deep dive into the numbers and the story, please feel free to check that out. And yes, and Christoph, you're very humble in the sense you were actually part of a handful of advertisers who pioneered really the Microsoft Audience Network campaigns in Germany. And it's great to see that you've had these great results really early on. So yeah, this just comes to show that to be on the train as the first ones really gives you the benefits as well.
Definitely. And we are really looking forward for the future plans and to do really more projects with you together.
Awesome. Thank you so much for your time, Christoph. I believe we can hand it back over to Florian at this case. So yeah, let's see if he comes back online. Maybe just a last piece of advice. Is there anything that you want to end this session with, and maybe just give a few pieces of advice for anyone who's in the SMB segment and looking to start their business in 2022?
What we noticed, especially during the last months, even during the last 2 years, it's getting more and more important that your web page is technically really strong. It helps a lot to improve the quality scoring of your web page, which also leads to lower CPCs in the ad account. So it helps a lot to rank, but also to make your media buying more effective.
Thank you so much. Thanks, Christoph, and hi, Florian. Welcome back.
Hello, and thank you. Great insights. Thank you very much, Christoph, for sharing today.
You're welcome.
And to SmartCareer for all the preparation and help they're doing with the campaigns, and Federica for the great interview. Again, we got a couple minutes left. Just one thing, if you do want to start off with Microsoft Advertising, we do have some specific coupons we created for DMEXCO. It's a credit program where you spend a little and then we get a free campaign possibility to test out campaigns. As Christoph was saying, Shopping works, for example, great. Advertising. So, and it's really simple to import any campaign you have on Facebook or Google directly into Bing. It's a one-click import. So you don't, it's pretty automated. So it's really easy to do. So I encourage you to test, contact Simon or use the coupon online. If you have any questions, we'll continue to chat in the chat window. I'll be joining there in a couple minutes. And with that, we're at the hour. So I really wanted to thank you again, Christoph, Federica, Marketer Partner, for a great session and great insights that you shared today. And I wish you great luck. And I hope to see you all next year in person in Cologne.
Thanks a lot.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.